Feature where if you make a content, your best friend will know that content is from you. The moment we implement that content, we see a huge wave on Discord of people like going online to delete their messages because suddenly their friends could tell these smart messages from their best friend. So they clean it up in a day. And now the messages we see in Sky are mostly interesting and many of them inspiring. And so the rule we applied for the messages is initially when your friend made a content, there's three phases. The first phase is you made a content, and only your close friends can see it. And you would need 3 endorsements from your close friend for this content to be qualified to be pushed to the public. And once it's in the public, if there's 3 people who find this content offensive or harassing, and they can downvote, and then the content will disappear. And that is basically a community regulation, or I would say it's like a social engineered friends regulation. And that ended up working really, really well. And 3, I want to talk about how can we protect the player with high barriers. In this case, we are talking about mutual consents. So chat moderation, like I'm quoting my coworker Tim here, he said, chat moderation is important, but ultimately it's the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. You want to prevent the people from jumping, not just collecting a wounded person. So in Sky, we try to implement the consent at every step of the social interactions. From the early stage of people just chatting with each other without knowing each other, right? So in this case, you have a video here, people were talking, and you don't even know what they look like. You're not judging them based on their appearance. You can just have a people-to-people conversation. And even to review the appearance, you have to agree to cross the candles to review them. So this really protects you from having, this weird typecasting or bias towards each other. And you really have to earn the friendship, like in real life. Like sometimes, you like somebody, but they like you, right? So here's the kind of real vivid situation when a player finally gets the friendship. They are so thankful, they feel like they've earned it, and so they actually care about the relationship. And then that's just the beginning of forming the friendship, but then every step going forward, building the trust and unlock more intimate abilities like hugging, holding hands, and the free chat, they all require mutual consent. So if you're being an annoying person or harassing person, then the other person doesn't have to take it. So early on, if you have not unlocked chat, all the messages are masked. You really have to work your way up to build the trust, and eventually to really unlock chatting. That's very kind of counterintuitive for online game, because everybody would think, oh yeah, this is online, so you should have chat right away. You should be able to invite your friend and start to have very close chat. But we are designing it for introverts. Introverts don't have many friends, so it's more likely they're going to make new friends. And so we have to kind of build it a very safe environment so you can slowly dial up, whether you want to hear someone else talking or not. And in Sky, we create these different tiers of interactions that is, become more intimate over time. But many people would never go to the second or third tier. So first tier is chat, second tier is warp. Like warp, it could be seen as stalking, so like that's the ability you really want to think if you want to give to your friend or not. Then there's like a little bit like play fight. That things can be interpreted as aggressive, but will be totally acceptable for close friends. We'll all come in a much higher trust level. So the higher the entry barrier is, the nicer the people behave socially when they finally enter it. I don't know why, but that's just humanity, I think. Alright, the third lesson is, once you build a relationship, you want to protect the authenticity of the relationship. Gamification on relationship tends to erode trust and turn relationship into toxic behaviors. Number 1 is you don't want to mix relationship with rewards. It's like friends with benefits or with profits. That usually don't go well. And internally, we're talking about desires. Like the player should be motivated to spend time with one another because it feels good, not because they they have to, or because they have something to unlock. In the early days, we were trying all kinds of mechanics. We were trying to nudge the player to become friends with each other. What happened is, in the rainforest, we have the rain that's harmful for your health. And so we have umbrellas. We designed a puzzle where if two friends come, they can pray at the shrine and you'll get an umbrella for both players. We thought that's such a great idea because it will encourage friends to visit together. But what happened is, two strangers would come to the shrine, they both want an umbrella. So they added each other, they become friends right there, they get an umbrella and they break apart. And the next morning they log online, who is this person? They forgot this person even existed. And then they told me they feel disgusted looking at their friend list, not knowing who are these people. And that was like one of the rare things. Like everybody from the place has told me like we don't want this. And the gifts should stay as a pure gift. This is another thing we made a mistake. So in the early days we want to encourage the gifting. So we want to show player how to say like you can potentially earn hearts by befriending someone else. So heart gift was a byproduct, or it's like a bonus. If you level up your relationship, you get more hearts. But people love heart as a resources, so they want to farm hearts. So we start to see the heart bagger epidemic. So anywhere, it's like go to any of the train stations or the airport. Outside there will be people waiting for, hey, you want to be friends? I'm really cute. Let's be friends. And you'll just be hobbled by these cute little chibi characters because usually they get more interest and they just want to level up relationship to rip the heart out of you. And that was getting so bad. Like everywhere, people are trying to be cute and attractive, but once they get the heart, they disappear. So we have to remove it. Right? A gift has to be a pure gift. There's no additional benefits there. And the second thing is don't tutorialize your relationship with free gifts. Like many games aren't games like to tutorialize. They'll give you free currencies and then you apply it. You go through the drill and this is how the system works. But early prototype, the player will get free gifts every day. They can give out to other people to see what happens. And what happened is, even though the gift is free, the player expectation is not free. If you are giving someone a free gift every day, the day you don't give them the gift, they were like, hey, where's my gift? It's supposed to be free. You're supposed to give to me, right? And it becomes actually toxic. That's just the most weird thing. It's like if you have let's say a homeless person right on the street and you give them a dollar every Sunday, and on the next Sunday you didn't give the dollar, they will come to harass you and say like, where's my dollar? That's just human nature somehow, but it actually backfired for our community. And our player really disliked those people who harassing them for free gifts. So eventually we shifted back. Instead of trying to teach social systems by offering player free currencies to apply on real players, we decided to offer them currencies they can apply on NPCs. So at least NPC don't harass you, and they can still teach you the same systems without making the community toxic. And another one I would say is you need darkness to show light. When we first jumped into Sky, we were very we were very progressive. People hate pay to win, so we want to do the opposite of pay to win. Right? We noticed that if you pay in a pay to win game, a lot of times you don't want to tell people that you spend lots of money just to beat other people because you know you're cheating. Like there's a little bit of shame about buying things for yourself. But we find out that if you pay for the people you love, usually they're very proud to tell you, hey, I took my family to Disneyland this weekend, right? I have this big diamond ring for my fiance or whatever. Right? It's like people are usually not shameful if it's about giving to someone they care about. So initially we were like, okay, let's go 100%. Everything has to be altruistic and everything has to be giving. So we implement a society where you cannot buy anything, and the only thing you can get is if someone gives you something. And that society runs like a paradise for quite a while. I was very happy. Look at how all these people giving each other. But very quickly, I started to find out everybody's like doing you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. Hey, I gifted you yesterday. Where's my gift? You're supposed to give it back to me. And lots of people are actually very toxic about their expectation was not met by the other person. And that was quite eye-opening when we tried it because we can control the system, we can change the feedback, but humanity doesn't work like a machine. They're human. And so we realized that if you don't have a system where you actually can buy something for your self-interest, then when someone gives you a gift, you're not second-guessing. Your question is that gift even is genuine, or are they just simply expecting you to give back to them something? So eventually when we launched the game, we had to include in things that people can buy for themselves, just so that when they choose to buy it for a friend, the friend could trust that is a genuine gift. And that was a very big change when we were doing the design. So what we want is a genuine gift, not just gifting economy. And so today in Sky, you can buy things for yourself. You can also buy things for your friends. When we did the season pass, we did a slight discount. So if you buy it for a friend, it's cheaper, and it certainly made a lot of people decide to buy the season pass together. So 40% of the season pass was bought and sent as gifts with event content. That's 100% the same price. You can buy it for yourself, you can buy it for a friend, and 22% of the content people purchase are actually for others. So to me, that is a genuine gift to each other. And one last thing I want to talk about is genuine human connections could save lives. So when we work on Journey, we realize vulnerability really leads to human compassion. This is a very social behavior of many social animals. It's a survival instinct. When you are weak and small, you have to rely on working with each other to survive, right? So when the predator, they go around, they're strong and powerful, they usually hang out alone. But sometimes even the big cats, they will work together, and that's only when their prey is even more strong, right? And it's the feeling of risk and the feeling of smallness makes us bond with each other. And the very emotion of awe and vulnerability is what made us human, because we're such a weak animal if we are alone. And that makes us really want to belong, right? These days, one of the biggest depression we feel in the society is the loneliness, that we don't feel we belong to something that's meaningful. And a lot of the friendships and connections are not genuine. It's the surface level things. And just the yearning to belong to something bigger is the most human feeling of them all. And when you don't have this feeling of vulnerability and humble smallness, when you feel really big, we go back to the gamer behavior, right? You're the space marine, you're the Superman, you're the hero that can change the world. And they stop thinking about connecting with others. And so if we want to make an online community less toxic, we have to rethink about gaming experience. We have to reduce the empowerment online. Instead of making games where you just go around killing things, make things much stronger you just can't kill. Instead of going around looking for treasures and resources or finding monsters, you go around and run to other people. And people are more important than gold coins. In a battlefield, it's very hard to focus on people because the sound, the distraction. So, in order for games where people can connect, you have to reduce the noise. You have to reduce the number of people. You have to put them in an environment they feel small and, a little bit vulnerable. And suddenly, if you see another person, oh my God, there's another person, right? Instead of walking on Times Square and just people all pass by you and you're just trying to ignore all of them. So for Journey, we really tested this idea of creating the world that evokes a sense of awe and vulnerability. And the result shows it creates empathy and compassion between the players. These are the fan arts again of the memorable moments. What they had in the game is when they supported each other, is when they leave a message for each other. And once you're creating this compassionate moment, a genuine human connection will form, and that leads to inclusive and supportive community. So what is a genuine human connection? It's a vulnerable interactions between two people that they feel heard, seen, and known, and valued after the communication. And afterwards, they feel better about themselves and feel better about the world. I'm just going to summarize this genuine human connection. It's one of the few things I really believe is generally good for humans. And when we created Sky, one of the emotions I really want to evoke is that we are not alone. And I think most of the artists who make art, they want to connect with people through their art. And in this process, if the art connects with them, there's an overwhelming sense of gratitude between the artist and the viewer. And I think this overwhelming gratitude I felt is also inspiring, our creation, and we want to give it back to the players. It's a very healthy cycle of reciprocation. When we launched Sky in 2019, we got a letter within a few months. A 67-year-old grandma from Hawaii who never played games was crying and moved by the game, and she told us, she doesn't want to be alone anymore, and she's still a person of love. And that's the same age as my mother-in-law, who also came from Hawaii. So it really, and eventually my mother-in-law also becomes a Sky player and find friendships. It's these stories that really make me feel happy that working on the games that we make. There's this manga, a Japanese, very talented manga artist. She makes usually funny mangas, but one day she made this manga for us. She said she actually tried to hurt herself in the real life multiple times. She was really thinking about throwing her life away. But when she discovered Sky, she felt the warmth from many friends she made in the Sky community that for the current moment that she chose to live. And she's only 20 years old. I really don't understand why a talented artist, at her golden age would think about throwing her life away. And during the Ukraine and Russian war, we were really concerned because we had players from both nations. And when they run into each other, instead of having a fight in the game, they actually really supported each other. They see each other as victims of the war, and they still stay contacted today. And I want to show you just one last thing. This is from the concert of Aurora, when there's 4,000 people can view the concert together. But when we give this tool to our player, when they have the control to tell each other what to do, together they were able to perform something that's just really beautiful and moving. They decided to come together without any of the problem. We didn't tell people to do this, but they decided to do it together with each other. Instead of competing or fighting, they're here to create art. I just never thought a gaming community could be more amazing. So to conclude, how do you keep your online interaction positive? First, just remember, players are not born toxic. We are all capable of being a good citizen and treat each other with compassion. So really, just focusing on your design to highlight that bright part of humanity. Number two, don't give players social powers. No shotguns for babies, right? They have to earn their trust. And that's how the real society works, and I don't understand why online games don't do that. And number three, if you build a relationship, don't ruin authenticity with gameplay mechanics. Gamification don't work with relationships. It needs to be genuine. And try to build genuine human connections in your community. It will save lives. And, we're game designers. We're thinking about how to change people's behavior in our games, but I don't see why we couldn't think about how real-world institutions can be designed to promote human values rather than destroy them. And if you can make it work in the virtual world, I don't see why it wouldn't work in the real life. So TGC, is a company that started 18 years ago, trying to make games to tell heartwarming stories for all ages. But today we have to change it because it's an online game now, right? We have to inspire humans to connect worldwide. Thank you, and we're also hiring. Yeah.